Hey family and friends, how you guys doing? Guys, before we go anywhere, I have to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you, because that says that something right is being done somewhere. Something good is happening somewhere. Thank you. Really, from the bottom of my heart, ke a leboga. Enkomu, danki, thank you, merci, nakhensa, ndikhoribua, nyabonga. Thank you. I started this thing off as if it was just like me being a chatterbox. And the comments that I'm getting, the requests that I'm getting, the interaction, honestly speaking, I appreciate it. I appreciate kudu kamatla. Budgets. I promised we'll talk about budgets again. Now, budgets, guys, hey, budgets did deep. Budgets are actually the core of your wedding. Disclaimer, everything that I'll be saying here doesn't mean that it applies to you. It might apply to you, it might not apply to you. It might help you, it might not help you. So receive it gently. You decide, or you're getting married, you decide, or you have now set up a date, you are good, you are set, but you don't know how much to spend or how much to save. You don't know if you even have enough, which is very much normal. You don't plan weddings every day like us or like me. You don't do weddings every weekend like me, so you wouldn't know. So the best thing for you guys to do is honestly to sit down and be honest with each other. Sit down, be honest with it, with English. What's my English? Sit down and be honest with what's going on. I laugh. I even laugh at myself. Sit down and be honest with each other. How much do you have now in this today, in this minute? How much do you have? How much are you anticipating to get? How much from now up until the wedding month or 3 weeks before the wedding do you think you would have accumulated? Guys, I am saying sit down with your partner, because it's your guys' wedding. When you decided or you're getting married, you didn't invite your mom, you didn't invite your uncle, your cousin, anyone. So don't bank on them, okay? Don't budget kabana babatu. No. It's a mistake that I find, or a lot of people make, where they always say, no, we'll have a family meeting, we will see who's contributing what. Listen, if anyone is contributing, all good and well. You are blessed, you are lucky. Not everyone has that luck. All good and well. And if people can't contribute, it's still okay. It's still your wedding. It's still something that you said you want to do. I get. So those that are contributing, those that are saying or they will help you, say to them, thank you. It's very much important to say thank you. It shows you are appreciating the effort. You are appreciating what they are doing for you. So the best thing that you can do for them is to say thank you. Those that can't afford, we don't write them off. It's their choice. It's their money. Why would you want to get angry over the fact that someone doesn't want to contribute for your wedding? It's your wedding at the end of the day. So you allow them to be. Some genuinely can't contribute. What's the point of being promised, or I'll give you this much tota, and the next thing that money doesn't come? That will dent your relationship even worse. So those that can, thank you. Those that can't, it's okay. You are still invited to my wedding. You are still part of my family. So you sit down, you calculate how much you have, how much you're anticipating, how much you think you'll get, how much will the people that are promising to give you the money are saying they will give you. Be honest with them as well. Or so you are contributing X amount. Where do you want to contribute, or how do you want to contribute? How are you going to give me this money? It's only fair for you to be told, or no, Chomi, ke tla go fa 10 rand. No, Chomi, no, I'll pay for the food. No, Chomi, I'll buy your dress. No, Chomi, I'll do this. Or mommy or my daughter or whatever, I'll do this for you. You need to know so that Oscar Kragonali duplicates. You now know how much you are going to get. What's next? I always say the best thing, Kore, get either a diary, a notebook, or your laptop or your phone. You can use your phone to create sort of like a planning sheet, a financial planning sheet. This is how much we have. For our wedding, we know on top of our list, the 5 top things on our list, our wedding key might be venue, photography, food, your dress, your suit. If those things are perfect, you've had a perfect wedding. Just those 5 things, not a whole lot of many other things. Okay, so you sit down, you write down what we have this much, and number 1 key venue, we want this kind of a look. Number 2 key photography, we want this kind of photos or video. Number 3 key your dress. Number 4 key your food. Number 5 it's the husband's suit or suit or your partner's attire. So how much do you think these things will cost? Call the venues, call the suppliers that you want to get estimate codes. Okay, then on your Excel spreadsheet, in your diary, in your workbook, you write venue it's X amount, in it's X amount, and so on and so forth. Of those 5 things first, because those are the ones that are important for you and for you, not for even the person that's contributing. Then you now know how much is it that the 5 most important things that you, or even if it's 3, even if it's 2, what are those things costing you guys? Then you go back. Now you now know how much is it that those important things are. You now go back. You now tackle all the other smaller things that are not of importance to you: hair, makeup, cake, whatever that's not of high importance to you. Then you get codes as well. Come back, sit down, analyze your budget. Analyze out of all these things that we now have, the important ones and the not so important ones, how much do they all add up to? There will be instances where some things will be lower than what you anticipated. Guys, that doesn't mean that you have more. There is no way. Somewhere you're going to find something costs much higher than what you anticipated. You take the extra, you add it onto where you have gone over budget. You don't take that money and chow it. No. You don't take that money and say, well, I've got extra. It doesn't work like that, because there are also hidden costs, things that are just going to come up out of the blue, and you ask yourself, so how did we get here? Those things will happen where you really ask yourself, or how did we now get to a point where you spend a lot on traveling, I'm spending a lot on my phone bill, I'm spending a lot on my data, I'm spending a lot on this and that and that and this. So you take that extra money, you keep it somewhere where you know you are going to go back and find it, because you will need it. Guys, let's remember again, you are getting married. You are starting a new life together. If you are starting a new life together, you don't want to start that new life bankrupt. You don't want tension at the beginning of your marriage or at the beginning of that new life that you are now starting. Even though you might be staying together, even though you might be married already traditionally or whatever the case is, but the fact is, it's a new chapter. You were here, now we're starting here. So you don't want that start to be tense, to be sour, to be uncomfortable. Then you guys will now start playing the blame game. Kimang, when you wanted to go to that venue, when you wanted to go have your nails done at that place, if you didn't do this. No, we are trying to avoid a situation where just because you are now bankrupt. You don't even have money for rent. You don't have money for food. You don't have money for your car installment. You don't. New things are going to now come up. New expenses are going to come up, especially for those that are not staying together. New things, like you might be having a new one car, you might still be staying at home, you now have to stay together, you must buy a bed, couch, this and that. So you need to factor all of those, or you are starting a new life, you are now going to have to spend more money. So please, when you do your estimates, when you get quotes, be realistic. If the venue that you want is more expensive than what you can afford, move on to another one. If the supplier that you want is more expensive than what you can afford, go get a quote from someone else. It doesn't harm. It's only the right thing to do. You are saving your pocket. You are saving your marriage, your relationship that you are now embarking into. I always tell my brides and my grooms and my couples, or please, and I'm saying this with all due respect, and I'm saying this as a wedding planner who is in the business of satisfying people, and being in business say that you're there to make money, you're there to make profit. But I always say it's only one day. You don't want to mess up your life by just one day. You know how much you have, you know how much you can afford, you know how much you are willing to go extra, and you know how much you can't spend on. So be very, 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 very honest with yourself. Spend money on things that you really need, so that when you look back at your wedding day, you look back and smile. You look back and say, wow, we did it, and we did it within what we can afford. It's only one day. Remember that. Be honest with your suppliers. Be honest with whoever you're getting a quote from. If they've over quoted you, or when I only have X amount, how can they meet you halfway? If they can. If they can't, leave them to run their business the way they want to. Okay. The other point is, your budget is driven by the number of guests that you have. When you sit down and get quotes, obviously people will ask you, how many guests are you expecting? So always remember, Rory, the number of the guests that you have drive the whole vehicle at your wedding. Don't invite Boma unnecessary. I spoke about this before. Don't invite Boma unnecessary people that are just coming to criticize you. We don't want that. When you have a budget, always have a buffer. Yeah, maybe 10 to 20% of your overall budget, where you know, or okay, we've gone over budget, but we still have X amount. So with the amount that we have, we can still achieve 2, or we can still get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so have a buffer. Have a buffer. Remember what is more important to you, and you need to be honest with your partner. You need to be honest with yourself as well. You need to be honest with your finances. Guys, please don't be afraid to be honest with your suppliers as well. Okay, so what I am going to do next week is, I am going to create a fake wedding budget. The budget topic is quite broad, so I can't finish it all on one video. So now we spoke about how to start, and then next week I will say, now you have X amount. Okay, and I'll work on a more realistic amount for about 150 guests, ne? And then break it down. I'll go from dress to suit to decor, in different looks, to photography, different codes, and what they provide, or services that they can provide for you guys. And yeah, we will have a better a better way of knowing how to split the budget. Now you know how to start. Honesty, being realistic, and knowing what you want, what is more important to you. Getting codes, and not forgetting to negotiate. Thank you so much for being here, guys. So we'll meet next week when we talk about the real money. Remember that as well, or this is applicable to those that want to pick and choose. It's not applicable to everyone. Thank you so much.